I would like to give you a short and quick high-level overview of JChem for SharePoint, which is one product from the ChemAxon. And as you probably know, the SharePoint is kind of platform. And what can we do? What can we add to the SharePoint itself? Is obviously chemistry. So our extension is some kind of chemistry collaboration, knowledge sharing, and knowledge management, and also a chemistry-aware enterprise search extension to the SharePoint itself. But how we can do that? Our product has two different parts. One part is the capturing, which is responsible to put and save chemistry data inside SharePoint. And the other part of the software is the search, how you can find the information in the SharePoint. Could be, I don't know, hundreds of gigabytes of data in some cases. Let's find out how we can capture the structure, capture the chemical information in the SharePoint. So in every company there are managers. These are the managers here, and they always want some documentation, some materials from you. And these particular managers want to have online documentation with editable structures. They would like to track the changes. They would like to discuss all the details of the structures with history, of course. And later they would like to approve if the document is in final state. And after that, they would like to share with other employees and search for those structures or for those documents later. Backup is also an important part of the system. And this lucky guy got worried because he has to somehow fulfill all the requirements, which seems to be hard because it could require many applications which somehow works together. But later he found out there is an application in-house in the company, which is the SharePoint. And with the help of JChem SharePoint, he could meet all the requirements. And he starts to put all the data into SharePoint. It starts to save the data, the chemistry data in SharePoint. As you can see here, JChem for SharePoint is really integrated almost everywhere where you can save data inside SharePoint. You can use, call it live structures, because you can save and later you can come back, edit, or modify that as you wish. So all around SharePoint you can use it. You can even use document libraries, and you can have, for instance, OneNote document libraries, what Ákos mentioned. And through this OneNote you have some kind of not live but collaboration at the same time through SharePoint within the employees. Maybe if those employees are at different sides of the world. So this guy finds particularly useful the list itself, the SharePoint list, which in the first column you can see that those structures were drawn or imported into SharePoint, so both possible, but all the other columns are somehow generated inside SharePoint. They are the calculated columns what we support in SharePoint too. And if this guy finished and put all the data into SharePoint, which is required by the management, the management want to find those data. And JChem for SharePoint could help you as well, because as you can see here, we know many representations of structures, files, or chemical files, or formats, or even images, because some of them, as you can see here, I highlighted because they are relatively new implementations. And today I would like to show you the optical structure recognition through a video here. So this is the main query form of the JChem for SharePoint. You can draw your structures as you wish, and you can combine the structure search with any free text or metadata search here. Now we are only interested in the PDF documents, and we will find a document, particular page from an US patent document, and we have found two images in it. So I opened the document, I selected the whole document, so the background got become blue because the whole thing is a document, is an image here, and I just right-click to show you that the structure was originally a an image what we interpreted and found the chemical structure in it. But that's not the only opportunity what you can have in SharePoint. So you can even connect your external data to SharePoint. And at the moment, what we support are file shares, other SharePoint content, so not the same because that's obvious, but other SharePoint form content could be also connected to this particular form. Oracle or SQL servers and website, and of course you can write your own custom connectors if you have a special business application what you would like to connect. Some of those data can be even modified within SharePoint. Some of them just can be viewed, and some of them are only playing a role in the indexing and searching later. And then the SharePoint indexing together with the chemical indexing will present you a nice result layout for your searches. So now we can find the data in SharePoint. That was a requirement by the management, but we need to teach them how to use that. So first of all, they can choose their favorite editor, structure editor, which can be Marvin.js, Marvin Sketch, ChemDraw, or Excel. At the moment, they could combine, as you have seen, the structure search with free text or metadata search, and then they can visualize the results in two different views. One view is the document, and the second is the structure-based view, what we support at the moment. And I would like to show you a slide about the administration, because JChem for SharePoint is a server-side product, and as with the server-side products, the administration is, I think, crucial point, because one misconfiguration can collapse the whole system for all the users. And we considered it. This is why we have created only a next finish type of installer, which is the MSI installer. And from that point, everything can be managed through the SharePoint central administration. No database hacks, no magic from that point. Even the chemical indexing is integrated into the SharePoint indexing, which it's asynchronous, but can be started together with the SharePoint indexing. And of course, we have use cases, what we have identified. Some of them are from clients, some of them are just visions, but I would like to show you now a living use case, which is in practice at one of our clients. And this client has JChem for Excel, and they are happy with that, so they are using it. But they have some collaborators, some partners who doesn't have JChem for Excel at all, but they would like to collaborate somehow. One option what they thought is the emailing, but it lacks some important features, for instance, versioning. The central, the storage, it's quite hard and not real time, and of course the backup and restore is quite painful with the emailing systems. So it was not that good. A second one, what they thought is file share, which is a bit better, but the versioning is still questionable, and it's not real time. So they decided to create an extranet SharePoint for the collaborators and give access to the SharePoint itself. And how it was done in practice, that it's the next video will show you. So the US employee has the Excel, and he's quite happy with that. I know it's a little bit fast because I'm short on time, but the main message is here that he is able to import the chemical files and even the JChem for Excel files into SharePoint and represent it in a table-like, I don't know, table-like representation, just like you can see here. And the other collaborator in Japan can modify and do any changes, even export or import back. And after that it is done, the US colleague can receive an email automatically about from the SharePoint about the job is done, and then he's able to export it back to Excel. And as you can see, then they can continue the work in JChem for Excel. And there are other use cases which already identified. I don't want to go into details now because I don't have time, but at the demo station we can discuss if you are interested. But the common point with all of them are the data storage, because the data is somehow stored in the SharePoint or just connected to SharePoint. But from that point, if that is connected or stored in SharePoint, there could come the SharePoint indexer together with the JChem indexer, eat all the data, safely of course. Yes, because we will respect all the permissions what the documents already have, so we don't do any magic there. And then we can provide you some results on the net in the JChem, in the SharePoint interface. And of course, your feedback is always needed. We have plans and visions, but we need to prioritize what are the most important things. So I will be really happy if you share your opinion, what you think it's important to go. We would like to, we have three main directions, what we thought. First is the line of business applications, what we would like to somehow connect more and more. And we thought of integrating some text mining tools, and also, of course, the cloud is the Microsoft future direction, so we would like to support that as well, because at the moment we can't support the Office online, I mean the SharePoint online from that. So that was all, thank you very much.
To make the link with the Daniel presentation, so when you make the substructure search, you can find the structure in the image.
Yes.
As you show me.
Okay. Yes.
So it's not because it's just the text around the image, it's just really the image.
Under the hood we are using the same technology as Daniel, so we support the optical character recognition and optical structure recognition too.